Why are dogs being killed when the world has a good alternative, which is sterilization of dogs? Now, unfortunately, the program did not go well because the government, which put in 700 crores per week for 10 years to remove polio, did not put in 1 rupee for sterilization of dogs till today. We found that in Warangal, the ABC was being done in a tin shed, almost as small, 3 times the size of my chair, and the temperature in it is 55 degrees. So they were operating and taking out female organs, ovaries without anesthesia.
And are there any consequences to this?
No, that's the thing. 70% of the NGOs getting contracts in India are illegal. Now, in a place called Mandla in Madhya Pradesh, we have recently found that the NGO given the contract had done 0 operations, but had buckets full of 800 testicles and 640 ovaries. There are more dogs killed by NGOs pretending to do sterilization than there are in a butcher shop. They send out illiterate people. They hire labor for say 100 rupees, 200 rupees, young boys, 13, 14, and then they send them out. These, they pick up from anywhere. They bring them in. They are sterilized any which how, without anesthesia, with anesthesia, without using good sutures. More than 50% of the dogs back on the road, their intestines fall out like this because the sutures open. So a dog dies because the intestine just hangs out and is on the road, and they bleed to death. This is what is happening. Beta, rose ke roz. For instance, here we had 11 ABC centers, dog sterilization centers. Of them, 10 were given to retiring people of the MCD and their relatives as a farewell gift. Okay, they then exchanged for years and years. They exchanged testicles, ovaries. So, according to the books, they have sterilized 50 lakh dogs. There are 3 lakh dogs in Delhi, and they have still not all been sterilized. All pet shops in India are illegal since 2018, but there are over 50,000 pet shops still working. Rape of animals. Every dairy cow has been raped at least 5 times.
Are you saying every?
Every. We have horses being raped. We have dogs being raped almost every day by good family people. The saddest cruelty, was 2 dogs are mating in Churu in Rajasthan, and 2 10-year-old boys come and take big stones and hit the female and chase both of them. They're both joined because they have to separate, but they can't under tension. And they hit the female till she died. Till she died. And the male is still dragging her dead body because he can't get out now. Because they felt that they would have to kill. So we lost thousands of compassionate doctors. And anybody who's cut up a frog or a dog, you're not going to become a frog or a dog doctor. So what was the point of it? So anyway, that was the first thing that went. Then we started looking at a dissection done by first-year students in college, in zoology, and that was also stopped. It took some time. Then the third area that we tackled was, why are dogs being killed when the world has a good alternative, which is sterilization of dogs? So in 2001, the sterilization laws were made and the killing was stopped. The killing was stopped in 92. But it took that much time for the institutionalization of what we call the ABC program, Animal Birth Control. Now, when this program started, Animal Birth Control, why was it very important? And why is it today still the most important thing? Because dogs and cats are in your face.
Right.
A child of, say, 16 or 15 has never seen an elephant. So if hundreds of elephants die, which they do, for him it's something that he hasn't seen.
Not from his own world.
That's right. But if he sees a dog being beaten in front of him, and this is the dog that he's seen every day, then something evokes in his heart. So therefore, the dogs became the symbol of the movement, even though they're completely not central to it. There are thousands of worse cruelties.
Right. Could you name a few?
So I'll come back to that.
Right.
So what we did was the sterilization program started. Now, unfortunately, from 2001 to 2026, the program did not go well. It did not go well because the government, which put in 700 crores per week for 10 years to remove polio, did not put in 1 rupee for sterilization of dogs till today. And had just left it to institutions like municipalities to do. Which municipality has got money?
Right.
And which one has got a trained person to look after? So, for instance, like today, we found that in Warangal, the ABC was being done in a tin shed, almost as small, 3 times the size of my chair. So, and the temperature in it is 55 degrees.
My God.
Because it's just tin, upar niche, in the sun. And they were operating on the dogs without anesthesia. And when we caught them, today, they said, ki the municipality has not paid us for 6 months, so we have no money for anesthesia or food. So they were operating and taking out female organs, ovaries, without anesthesia.
And are there any consequences to this?
No, that's the thing. The consequences, the NGO itself was illegal. From 2001 to 2026, 70% of the NGOs getting contracts in India are illegal. They're not trained. In many cases, the sweepers are doing the operations. Then there is another thing. So now, when there is a vacuum and there is zarurat, when you need something, then somebody will come to fill that need. So these mafia groups grew up. So one agency will have 15 kya bolte hain, ang.
Right.
Right? And they'll take it in 15 different places. But they don't even have one doctor. So they will just sterilize and kill and kill and kill.
So are you telling me to set these up, you don't need any professionals or doctors? You can just set them up?
No,
on paper?
You can't, because the laws are very strict.
But it's still happening.
But the municipalities, because there are only 16 NGOs that are trained, are actually giving, after all, there's 780 districts. So they're giving contracts to anybody who applies. So we have petrol pump owners. We have in Vasai Virar, there's a telephone operator who has been sacked 17 or 18 times. He has been fined 10 lakh rupees by the High Court for faking this. He's still given the contract because he's made 5 NGOs. Ek nikala jai, he puts the other one. And what they do is they pay the health officer 50%. So I'll tell you how the system works, because it works like that in Delhi also. You bid low. So you say that you will operate a major operation, taking out male testicles, female ovaries, for 700 rupees. You get the contract because you bid the least. Then what you do is, you have to, when you take out the ovaries and testicles, you have to show them to the checker. So what you do is you show them to the checker, and then instead of burning them, you recount them next time. So each testicle and ovary is counted 5, 5, 6, 6 times. And the mafia people who are running 15, 20 NGOs, just one person, he then sends those ovaries and testicles to the second place, then the third place, then the fourth place. Now, in a place called Mandla in Madhya Pradesh, we have recently found that the NGO given the contract had done 0 operations, but had buckets full of 800 testicles and 640 ovaries.
And they were just sent to them by somebody.
They had bought them from Gwalior and Jhansi.
And how does this repetition of counting numbers help anyone?
Because you're paid per testicle, per ovary.
So it's almost like having
so the
funding
government
for
pays
the homeless.
You 700. The government pays you 700
right.
for sterilizing a dog by taking out the testicle ovary. Then you re-show the same testicle and ovary. Then you re-show it again. Then you re-show it again. Then you send it to another place.
Wow.
So each testicle and ovary is costing India 50,000 rupees.
So they have no incentive to form any new operations, or matter of fact,
we have been telling them now for 25 years that there are 3 good places in Delhi. One is in Lucknow, one is in Uti, one is in Jaipur, and one is My Shelter in Delhi. Why don't you send NGOs for training? Let them train for 2 months, and then only they should get the contract. Unfortunately, the whole Animal Welfare Board of India has just got 3 people in it. And the one checker who is supposed to check 780 districts is a 76-year-old man who can't even go around in Delhi. He's an ex-MCD employee who was taken because he was an MCD employee. Most of the contracts now that are being given are given to people who are in government, know how the system works, and therefore can cheat the system.
But they have no background in animal welfare.
No, nothing at all. They
They've
don't even
never
go
made a
themselves.
policy, no legislation, never
No,
held
there's
offices.
both a policy, there's legislation. There are over 40...
But these people have never truly worked for it.
No, beta. There are about 40 cases where the court has ruled ki theek se karo. But the Animal Welfare Board doesn't do blacklisting. It doesn't... if you ask for... Suppose I train myself. And then I ask for permission from the Animal Welfare Board because there is a system. I made the system. So there is a system in which they have to say, all right, do you have this? Have you trained here? And then only they will give you permission. The Animal Welfare Board takes 2 years to give permission because they have one checker.
Right.
Okay? Now we have told them 500 times or more that there is a certain type of person called a HAVO or HAVAR. That is a honorary animal welfare officer.
Interesting.
These are trained. You apply to the Animal Welfare Board. They are then trained by a very, very good university called Nalsar in Hyderabad.
Right.
And then they're tested, and only when they're tested, they're allowed to be honorary animal welfare officers. They will check cruelty in their own districts. Now, we have told the Animal Welfare Board, I must have told them at least 500 times, that use the hours for checking the AWBI. Put one system into another. Because this program is going horribly wrong. There are more dogs killed by NGOs pretending to do sterilization than there are in a butcher shop. So, it has become, now for instance, what is happening is, the municipalities that have money do this nonsense. The municipalities that don't have money, they get gangs from outside, usually Tamil Nadu. And they pay them 500 rupees to go and poison the dogs.
Understood.
So this is especially true of Telangana. So in Telangana, we've had 17 massacres with 500 to 1,000 dogs being killed each time.
There's a lot of data coming out that there were thousands of dogs poisoned.
That's right.
Yep.
And that's because the AWBI is going, it doesn't check. The NGO system has failed totally because you are taking illegal NGOs. Now, for instance, in Indore, they've had NGOs that have been thrown out of 15 other places.
Interesting.
Now, what usually happens is that an NGO in its own area will not apply for anything because wahan to hukka pani band ho sakta hai. They live there. They can be get out there if they kill too many dogs. So what they do is an NGO from Hyderabad has taken the thing for Baroda and for Indore.
Oh, so they get dogs from there and they help each other out.
No, they don't go back to Hyderabad.
Right.
They will take the contract for Indore and do it.
Right.
And if they're caught at night, they disappear. Get it?
So it's an ecosystem
It's
between them.
an extremely corrupt system.
Right.
And that is what provoked the Supreme Court. See, because one of the biggest things that they are doing wrong is that all these illegal NGOs, now let me give you an example of what is good and what is bad. When we pick up dogs from the city in Delhi, we go there, take a photograph of the dog where he was. Then we inform whoever is there. They may not be a caretaker, but there will be a pan ki dukan. There will be somebody who lives there. There will be a bus stop. Something will be there. And we will inform them we are taking this dog back. And we take their number. Then when we're dropping them back, we ring up that person and say, we're dropping the dogs back. Could you please be a witness?
I think that's an amazing way to do
15
things.
years, we have had just one case where we went wrong.
Right.
And that is because the tags got mixed up on the vehicle itself. But we tag the dogs immediately. They get a number. That number is entered into a computer. where it is brown, female with white ears, picked up at this place, so that the dogs go back. Now, if a sterilized dog goes back to its own area, it will live quietly and happily ever after. It knows the people, it knows where it's going to get fed. It now has no testosterone. So there's no question of aggression. But an NGO that is there for the money couldn't be bothered to hire people to take, a GPS.
Right.
To find out where
Be so comprehensive with the pickup, the drop-off,
That's
the
right.
detailing.
So what they do is, they send out illiterate people. They hire labor for say 100 rupees, 200 rupees, young boys, 13, 14. And then they send them out. They pick up from anywhere. They bring them in. They are sterilized any which how. Without anesthesia, with anesthesia, without using good sutures. More than 50% of the dogs back on the road, their intestines fall out like this because the sutures open. Because they don't use Vicryl. So a dog dies because the intestine just hangs out and is on the road. And they bleed to death. This is what is happening. Beta, rows ke rows. And so anyway, so these people get the dogs in. They do these filthy, dirty operations in unsterilized areas. And then they throw the dogs back any which way. Those same young boys who pick them up, they say, "Bhai, jaakar ke kahin chhod do." Now, where do they leave them? They don't leave them in rich colonies because the rich people will catch them and beat them up. So they take them to lower middle class colonies, poor people, slums, and they throw these dogs out. Now, which is why 90% of the bites that are coming in India are from poor people.
Right.
Poor people, lower middle class people. Why? Because these dogs have come from outside.
And they don't know the place.
They don't know the
very
place.
scared.
They're hungry.
They're traumatized.
They're in pain, bitter. Their stitches haven't healed. They haven't been given antibiotics.
No antibiotics, no painkillers, no anesthesia.
Nothing.
Right.
No food.
Right.
So, and then thrown out at random. So, they don't know the place. So, they feel कि अगर मरना ही है तो सबको साथ लेकर के मरे. Because the local dogs are hitting on them. People are coming out with dandas. After all, if in your colony, you go to sleep and there are 10 dogs and you wake up in the morning and there are 200 dogs, you are also going to panic, beta, even if you're an animal lover. So this is what is happening in the program. So this program is destroying India. Now the Supreme Court, unfortunately, took note of this. There was one Supreme Court case in which the two judges were very sensible. So they said, do the damn thing properly, the ABC Pro, and give us a hisab month to month. Who are the NGOs doing it? What was their training? Where did they come from? How many animals have died? Etc. But before that program could even take effect, one suo motu judge took the case suo motu and overruled these two with his two. He and another judge called Justice Pardiwala and said, "Sare kutto ko uthao puri duniya mein." And 1.4 crore dogs there are.
Was this motivated by something, or it was just his
No,
instinct?
he must have got bitten. A relative of his must have got bitten.
Right.
Somebody must have complained. After all, the bites are there. And the bites are now 90% from relocated dogs.
Right.
So he must have lost his temper on that. And he did a suo motu case, which is, very, very rarely
So
done.
what I'm trying to understand and cultivate here is that there is a lot of context that we're missing when we see just the headline that says animal bite.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. The animal is out of place. The second thing is, chalte chalte usko danda laga diya. Now what happens to a dog when he's sleeping there, he's not bothering you. You go and you hit him. First time he'll take it. Second time he'll slink away. Third time he'll find a child or an old man. After all, dogs know which are the weaker people. They will go there and bite them. Then you wonder what is biting? Why are they biting?
Right.
Now, we just had one bite case where the whole RWA was so upset that कि कुत्ते को पीट करके मार डाला. They killed the dog.
With sticks.
With sticks. And 8-10 of them got together and killed it. And later on it was found that the person that the dog had bitten had, when the dog was eating, come and kicked the bowl out. Now, if I'm eating on a plate and somebody comes and kicks my bowl out, I'm a human being.
Yeah.
I'm going to get up and beat them up.
Yep.
What could the dog do? And what was the need for it? So, this is the background to bites. Now, Justice Pardiwala created total confusion by saying that you pick up all the dogs in India and put them into shelters. So,
Which
now-
I think is a very blanket
not
sort
possible.
of a judgment.
No,
There
it's
is-
not. It's not possible.
And there's a lack of nuance.
Not only lack of nuance. If I put 20 dogs together, they will start biting each other.
Let's say this were to happen, this were to get implemented. What are you worried about the most for the dogs?
It can't happen. What if you and I went to the moon? What would happen?
Right.
हम जाने वाले नहीं हैं. You can't pick up 1.4 crore dogs for the simple reason that it will cost you about 2 lakh crores.
Right.
So do you have 2 lakh crores for that?
Exactly. I don't think.
It will cost you 2 lakh crores to make, and it will cost you 3 lakh crores to run.
Right.
You have to feed them. They will
Maintenance
then
costs.
bite. Then you
Right.
have to get doctors. Then they will get rabies. Just imagine, if you put 500 dogs in one place and one of them had rabies,
Yeah.
which you didn't know about because rabies doesn't show up immediately. Then you had 500 dogs with rabies. That caretaker will run. Those 500 dogs will come out onto the street.
Right.
The whole of Delhi will empty itself out in 24 hours. Yeah? So why not do it properly? 25 years we have been begging the government, do it properly. For instance, here we had 11 ABC centers. Okay?
Right.
Dog sterilization centers. Of them, I think 10 were given to retiring people of the MCD
Okay.
and their relatives as a farewell gift. Okay? They then exchanged, for years and years, they exchanged testicles, ovaries. So according to the books, they have sterilized 50 lakh dogs. There are 3 lakh dogs in Delhi, and they have still not all been sterilized.
Right. Do you think this is a failure or a responsibility?
Of
How
the
does that-
government. It's completely the government. Either you take it seriously and give it to the correct ministry, which is the health ministry, call it an anti-rabies program, train the NGOs. 780 NGOs have to be trained, that's all. It's not the end of the world. Train them, give them responsibilities, and sack them once the first 5 dogs die.
I have a question, and I don't want this to sound like an empty chamber. So there is a lot of debate that comes from the other side, and it shows that what is important for human is not important for a dog. But where I come from, I think whatever aligns for a dog also aligns for a human.
Absolutely.
What do you have to say about that?
No, absolutely. One species and the other. There's no difference in species except the body. We think alike, we do alike. But we should give them all importance only because it's good for humans. If you have a compassionate society, you will be able to reach the moon. If your society is so dangerous that it hits and kills and gets used to violence, all violence, beta, starts with hitting animals. All. We call it a dress rehearsal.
Right.
So when you're small and you step on an ant and your parents say, "Oh, how cute." Tum to gaye bachu.
Before I started this conversation, I read a fact that if there's a person who's hitting a dog, he's 5 times more likely to also have done crime against human in his life, right?
You're absolutely right. And I'll tell you why. This is backed up by studies. It's not just a Hawaka thing. Studies that have been done in all the prisons show that anybody in jail for a heinous crime means involving violence. It's not bank robberies and stuff. It's about killing people, hitting people, mugging, rape.
Jeremy Dahmer, Ted Bundy, these
All
names
of them,
come up.
all of them, yeah. All of them started their careers by killing animals.
Or burning animals. In
Burning,
different-
sticking
yeah.
them, hitting them, pulling butterfly wings apart,
Yeah, tying their
stepping on
legs,
ants,
yes.
dissecting frogs and thinking it was cute,
Right.
beheading rats, anything. So you will be amazed to know that the FBI has, in 2013, I think, I'm not quite sure, put animal crime onto their watch list. Now let me explain to you what that is. The FBI is like the CBI. They are a federal body in America, and they can't enter any state unless the state asks them to. So they can only enter and look at crime when the crime is so big, like terrorism, school shooting, if they are asked by the state. So what they do is they keep a register of important crimes, arson, terrorism, things like that. And they're just 5. And every state has to report its figures to them.
Right.
So that when they look at the spike, this spike is going up, there's so much rape happening here, then they feel that they should move in. Now, to that, they have added animal cruelty. Because they believe, as is true, that anybody who is cruel to animals is going to be cruel to his wife, to his children, to his next door neighbor. And the most amazing part is that he is 150 times more likely to cheat in his office, in white collar crime, to steal money.
And this is a
Yani
behavioral
ki if
study
you have
that
a
has
banker,
happened.
all this is studied. If you have a banker, for instance, or a teller who hits animals and is okay with hitting animals, he is more likely to steal from the bank.
Wow.
So it's not just violence.
Is this something to do with morality or empathy?
It's the same thing, Nabitaji. Morality comes out of empathy. It's when you empathize with other species that your morality sets into place. What is morality? It's not about just telling lies and being kind to your parents and stuff. It is about do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That is what Dharma means in Hindi. When you do your karma, you do it, your dharma and karma ek saath mein. Dharma means doing unto others well. And so does karma. For instance, a butcher cannot say, oh, I'm doing my dharma because I'm a butcher and my parents were butchers and my grandparents were butchers. That's not a dharma. That's a job, however horrible it is.
Yeah.
Dharma and karma both mean the same thing. That you treat any species, any being, or non-being even, as you would have them treat you. That's all it means. So all morality, all dharma, all karma comes out of there. And if you don't do this, for instance, 1 hour ago, I spoke to NIFT head in Kashmir.
Right.
And I was explaining to her that every day she gives a lecture on moral virtue. And then she's beaten up all the dogs and thrown them out yesterday night, including separating a mother from her 5.
That's not very empathetic.
And I said, what are you teaching the children? You're going to make the most dangerous society possible because now they will be like you. They will talk, but they will do something else. And they've also learnt that animals are throwaway.
And we come from a land of Panchbhuta, Ahimsa, right? We've always, मेरी मम्मी खाना बना रही है मेरी दादी तो वो एक कुत्ते के लिए डालती थी. Where did we lose this thread?
You haven't lost it, bete. We are still fighting for it. Even in those days, जब आपकी माँ बना रही थी and we were feeding the crows and like in the evening, if you see me, the dogs, the cats and the crows eat together.
Right.
At 5:30 every day. And nobody bothers the other.
Yeah. I think they know coexistence better than us.
That's right. And I'm saying that even now, there are good people and there are people who do not understand how much harm they do. And that is what we are fighting for. And that is what I fought for 50 years.
Grounding back to reality, I think the ideas and the ideologies and the philosophies are great. All these years that you worked, what does a regular day look like? The calls that you get, the cruelty that happens. Can you tell me an instance that would, whoever's listening to this can visualize what has happened?
My day is a particularly fraught day because I deal with complaints that come to me on the email and I deal with complaints that come to me on the phone. And they range from everything. Somebody whose landlord has thrown her out because she has a puppy, to municipality who has taken their sterilized dogs by entering their house, or somebody who's beaten an animal to death, or elephants that have died on the railroad. It ranges from anything to anywhere. Like yesterday, for instance, in Ponta Sab,
right,
we caught a person who had brought in parakeets to sell them. Parrots.
Can you please explain for the viewers?
Tota, जिसको हम लोग तोते बोलते हैं, देसी तोते. And how they do it is, they take a stick and they put glue on the top. And they put it into the nest and with the glue take out the baby when it's just 2 days old. Uske par bhi nahi aaye, uske aankh bhi nahi khule. And then they sell them to a pet shop. All pet shops in India are illegal since 2018. But there are over 50,000 pet shops still working.
Who benefits from this?
The municipality. हफ्ते पर काम करते हैं. Because otherwise, they are the biggest looters of wildlife and killers of animals. Anyway, so we found this man selling baskets of totas. Just 2 days old, itne bade, without wings, without anything. So we arrested him. I'm just saying this is what I deal with every day, day after day. In 5 years, we have had 9.5 lakh emails. That's what my office does. On the other hand, we do policy. All the policies that you see which are pro-animal have been put in place by us. We work and work and work till we can find them.
Before you elaborate, I want to ask you this one question. A lot of people think sitting at their homes, mere karne se kya hoga, mere jaane se kya hoga, kar rahe hain na log, protest pe aa rahe hain na. So you've dedicated your life to this. I just want to ask you one question. What is one person capable of?
Everything. I'm also just one person.
I want stories.
No, anybody. You take...
The policies you've been involved in, the work that
so
you've done.
many... my God, if 9.5 lakh people have written to me, you can imagine 9.5 lakh people are on the ground working. They perhaps don't have the advantages I have because some of them don't have money. Some of them don't have jobs, but they still come out and they still feed, they still look after, they still come out to protest, they still fight every day with their neighbors who want to kill animals. So I'm so proud of them. No, it's not 9.5 lakh people. If we were to do a head count as of today, there would be about 2 crore people. Every village in Deoria has one person. I can't tell you how many people come out of the blue.
I've seen homeless people, kids taking care of dogs.
That's right.
And I think that's the sweetest thing.
What makes it all worthwhile.
If you don't have a meal
Yeah.
and you still share a meal, I think that says a lot about heart.
That's true. And that is why outside my house, I have a security box. And in that security box, you're supposed to put in security people. Mm-hmm. But they have kindly agreed to go to another box. Mm-hmm. And this box we fill up with food. Mm. And anybody who runs out of food, they can come and take it from here.
Right. Is there
but purane dinon mein, Hindustan mein, every house had a tap outside. So that people passing by could drink water, birds could drink water.
Exactly.
We are still fighting for that India. No, it's not going away. It's dabud. And why is it dabud? Because we're too many people. We're overpopulated. We're overpopulated, under-jobbed, if you call it. Under-dreams. Yeah. You know.
Underpaid, over-exhausted.
That's right.
People are too distracted to come out and protest.
And frightened. So in this situation, if you have 2 crore people still doing it for animal welfare, it's amazing. You know, that is the India we could do with.
Right. Is there a particular case of brutality that you can share that stays with you and sort of haunts you, comes back to you?
I have so many cases every day, and each one I think will be the worst. We have...
For the neutral audience, I want you to help them understand this a little.
I'll just tell you, we have 3 or 4 cases which are now frightening me. One is rape of animals. Every dairy cow has been raped at least 5 times.
Are you saying every?
Every. The gwala will rape her. His children rape her. Alte chalte phirte, she's raped. We have so many videos of cow rape. We have horses being raped. We have dogs being raped almost every day by good family people. It seems to be a syndrome. Either you rape them when you're about 16, 17 years old in a village. Those are goats are raped, etc. Or you come from a good family. You're in your 60s. There's nothing to do at home.
In your 60s?
In your 60s.
We have people who have done this when they were at their 60s.
Yes, because their wives are no longer sharing their bed. They don't know what to do. So you go out and rape a dog. We have, I think, over 2,000 videos. And these have been sent to me.
And these are available in public media?
Many of them are. One is just random beating. Chalte chalte jao, maar karke aage chalo. Why? The third is attacking women. That is the most frightening. Because women, when they come out to feed, some chalta pita man and his son will come and beat them up. And promise to rape them, throw them on the ground, kick them, for nothing. Now, what really we need is a much, much better police force. Because the complaints, because people are now opening their mouths. For years and years they kept quiet, but now they are coming forward. And they complain. So every police station gets hundreds of complaints a day. Now they need to take much better action.
If there's somebody like me who gets attacked because I'm feeding a dog, walking a dog, and I go to the police station, what are my options? Like, do I go to a WhatsApp community group? Do I go to the police station? Do I call you? What do I do?
Well, you can call me, that's one. That's how people do it. But we want to get to the stage where you don't need to call me.
Right.
So we train police people all over. I was recently in Lakh training the Ladakh police people.
Interesting.
We train all over India. We train judges as well. God knows what effect it has, but we train them. So what do you do to come back to that? The first thing is you get proof together. Get witnesses. Get a group together. I've seen that the police react much better to a group than to a single person. In any case. Number 3, you learn the law. 325, for instance, BNS, is for hitting an animal, maiming it, killing it. 351 is harassment. 352 is intimidation. Yani ki harassment with threats. I will rape you, I will kill you, I will beat you. 74 is when you attack a woman, abuse and attack a woman. 79 is when you outrage her modesty.
Right.
So 74, 79 usually go together. You have so many, you have RWAs that fine feeders. Now the law is that if an RWA fines for anybody, not just a feeder, but for anything, it is illegal and the secretary and the president can be arrested for extortion, which is up to 10 years in jail and is non-bailable. But you have to go there to complain. If the one lacuna we have, the laws are there. There are 2 lacunas. One, rape used to be 377 for animals. Now the government for some reason has removed it. So you just have to go with 325. You can't go with rape. Whereas I spoke to the Home Minister and he said he would put it back, but it's been 2 years now. The second is there is no law in India for vets. Now, of the complaints that I get, every day there will be at least 2 which say that I took my dog, cat, rabbit, guinea pig, whatever, to a vet. And he gave the wrong medicine, he gave the wrong diagnosis, and he killed it.
Right. I've heard those stories.
Nothing you can do. Nothing.
You
can do
mean
breach of contract.
There are no laws,
No laws
when it comes to their certification or degrees or malpractice, or
Nothing.
they're not vets at all?
Nothing, Bite. 50% of them are not vets. The para-vets, the LSS, the people who've been trained for 3 days, the people who have worked as a sweeper with a vet, they're all setting up clinics and calling themselves doctors.
How do I verify that if I take my dog
You have to
somebody?
ask them, Nabite. You have to ask them and ask them to show you their degrees.
Right.
We have told again that the Veterinary Council of India, which is a useless body, to list all the vets in India. After all, they all pass out from 33 colleges. So it's not too difficult. But they haven't made that list.
Right.
So you don't know who is a vet. So you have to ask them. For instance, and I'll just tell you how the vets work. Most of them don't study 1 inch after they have come out at the age of 21. So a 60-year-old vet has done no work between 21 to 60.
So they are not reading clinical data, research
Nothing.
papers, formulations. They don't know what truly is happening in the science world.
They don't know what's happening in the world. 1930s ka kaam abhi tak chal raha hai. Now we recently had 2 cases which was so frightening. This couple, they took their dog which had yahan se chora tha, aankh se kuch पानी आ रहा था. Now they should have dealt with it themselves because it's not the end of the world. But they took the dog to a vet here in Delhi. The vet said, "Oh yes, very simple. I'll put eye drops. Just let him come in." So he took him into the inner room. And after 10 minutes, he came out and said, "वो मर गया." So I said, "What?
Wow.
What?"
How?
He said, "I've never touched a dog unless I give it a sedative. And 1 out of 10 dogs die with sedatives. An injection. They have been running around for 3 years. They cannot get anybody to even make an FIR. Then recently somebody took a cat to another clinic. I'm just talking Delhi to begin with. And the man, just for a vaccine. So they let out the cat, which was khud-going, obviously. The man put his elbow, the doctor, elbow on the cat's larynx and then gave an injection. By then the larynx had burst and the cat died. No action. Recently in Mau, day before yesterday, girl took her dog to this doctor called Vinod Dangi and for sterilization, and the cat died. And when they did the post-mortem, they found that he had given it 10 times the dose of anesthesia that a cat uses because he hadn't weighed it, he doesn't know anything. Nothing you can do, nothing.
And these things usually happen with the body weight.
Now there is a teacher at the Veterinary College of Bombay, which is supposed to be one of the better colleges. He teaches pathology. He has opened a clinic in Chembur. But because he's a teacher here, he never gets to go to the clinic. So he put his shop assistant, the boy who sells dog food, shampoo, he's put a coat on him and called him Dr. Gaurav. And he does sterilizations and operations on the table where they're selling dog food.
What is this clinic called, ma'am?
It's called Supertech, Chembur.
Where is this? Chembur.
Then after that I was so appalled by this that I called the head of the college and I said, this man does not even respect his own profession. If he's a doctor, that his shop assistant is also a doctor. And he's killed every single dog
operated on.
That he's operated. Every single dog has died. Because he doesn't know the difference between an intestine and a heart. So what will he do? So till today, he's still the teacher.
And he's still operating?
He's not him. The shop assistant is still operating.
Is still operating
but
to this day?
the man is still employed as a teacher to teach vets in the Veterinary College of Bombay. Okay? You recently, and it's one of the second is grooming centers.
Right.
Most people are really stupid. They take suppose you have a 2-year-old son. At least I know this happened with my son. We took him for his first haircut.
Yeah.
And he cried and he cried and he cried jaise ki hum usko halal karne wale the. Children get frightened. Now you take a dog out of your house, you take him to a strange place and you say, अच्छा इसके बाल काट देना, इसको नहला देना, उसको de-tick कर देना, मैं अभी 6 घंटे बाद आ रहा हूँ. And you leave the dog there. What is that dog going to do?
Yeah.
So what grooming centers do is they beat the dog. They beat and beat and beat. This is that Vetic, which is famous for this. That group of so-called clinics. They have 20, 30 clinics. Each one is a namuna. So they were caught. They was just beating the dog. And they beat him
because he was a little bit to deal with?
Yeah, because he was in a tub of water and he was splashing. So they beat the life out of him. And they was filmed. It's on your net if you look at it.
Right.
But why do people leave their dogs there? Why can't you be standing there? That dog is frightened. So we have things like that happening. So if you ask me what is the worst cruelty, I don't know. But the saddest cruelty, the saddest was 2 dogs are mating in Churu in Rajasthan. And 2 10-year-old boys come and take big, big stones and hit the female and chase both of them. Now they're both joined because they have to, they have to separate, but they can't under tension. And they hit the female till she died. Till she died. And the male is still dragging her dead body because he can't get out now. It was so sad. I had those 10-year-old boys. I had them picked up. But, then they'll say, oh, they're underage. And I'm saying an underage boy is much more dangerous because if he gets away now, he's going to be much worse.
So when we talk about killing a dog, it doesn't take one hit. You have to be brutal with blunt objects and be repetitive until
Absolutely.
they pass away.
Yeah.
So these 10-year boys have the capacity to go all the way, have repetitive hits until they die.
Yeah. And they were not bothering anybody. They were not even in a city. They were in a field. उन्होंने मजे से किया. You see them laughing. They're taking a video of themselves.
One question,
और
ma'am.
मारो, और मारो.
I've heard about institutions. I've heard about the police. I've heard about the vets. I feel sad. What's the hope? Why are you doing this?
Lots of hope, Peter. Where do we
get our power from?
When I started out, there was nobody. There must have been 5 people in the whole of India, and it was a belief that कि अमीर औरतें, widows, society women, ये उनका hobby है. Now, for instance, I just finished speaking to a naval officer, senior naval officer in Goa, who said 4 dogs have been poisoned. I've called the whole Federation of Animal Welfare. I want to know what this is about. No? That would never have happened before. We have army officers writing to me. We have the chief of the army staff in 2023 wrote a letter out to the whole army saying that there will be no cruelty in the army. And if there is, utha karke, court-martial. He didn't say court-martial, but he meant that. That would never have happened. So India is not, cruelty is going to be always there. That is the base that we start from. But if we can get more and more people involved, then it will become less. I'll give you another example. In Delhi, all parks used to be shut to dogs. Now the DD has said they're all open to all dogs. Is that a step forward or not?
Of course.
So then, yesterday Surat declared all parks shut. And in the evening I spoke to them, and then they said all parks open. Pehle to sunte bhi nahi the. Now, if I talk to members of parliament, they're so kind and they all come forward and help. It's just that it never occurred to them. What is lacking here is complaints. When a child cries...
That people in power do not see enough people complaining that reaches them.
That's right. And
they know that this is what our people care about.
That's right. So if... when a child cries, then only the mother feeds, thanu mein doodh aati hai. If you don't cry, what will the person know?
Right. There was an uncle and he said, usually in the West, a lot of people don't say anything. They're civilized, they won't look at you. But the moment they're in trouble, they say, go at the top, at the terrace and scream and tell everybody you're in trouble.
Yeah. It's literally like that.
Yeah.
So now we have people, for instance, which I feel very happy about, who will email me or talk to me and say, mere ghar ke samne, there is a man who owns a dog and he has kept him in the balcony for the last 6 months. And then we'll send a team. Say, rakhna hai to theek se rakho, nahi rakhna hai to hum hi le lete hain. And sometimes we get the dog. The police help us. So I'm just saying that the idea is to complain. And for complaint, now we come back to the original reason for this podcast.
Right.
And that is the rapid response team.
Right.
Now I'm going to explain it to you because now we have established why we need this.
Can I set this up with a question?
Sure.
That is that you're of a certain age. After 100 years, we're all not going to be here, right?
Hopefully less than that.
There have always been relevant people who've done relevant work. But when they pass away, let's say, their legacy, their teachings also fade away or are corrupted by the one follows them.
Sometimes.
Right? Now, when we talk community, when we talk democracy, it stays. People stay for each other. Culture stays, value stays, habit stays. So what can we do right now
to change the culture,
to change
the values?
The culture and values?
See, I've always believed that the most successful person and the most successful mark of a successful person is if they become irrelevant. Okay? The idea is not to be the center of it. The idea is not to be the boss, the leader of the movement. No. It is to be irrelevant. When will I become irrelevant is the day I look forward to, when nobody contacts me anymore because they're so busy solving it themselves.
Right.
For instance, to give you an example, Goa. till last year, they were all pudgoing about. यहाँ कुत्ता मर गया, वहाँ मर गया. Bullfighting, which I had banned. We won a case in, I think, the 90s.
Right.
Banning bullfighting in Goa. That has come back secretly. They are secretly smuggling in, and there's a politician, a senior minister who's involved in smuggling in cow meat from Karnataka into Goa every day.
My God.
And who's informing me? The members of the slaughterhouse. I'm just saying there was so much going on that was not nice.
Yeah.
And then we met with everybody. Every animal welfare group had 3 people in it, and they all hated the next 3. As they do. One of the problems with the animal welfare movement is this siloification
Right.
of each
Can you
person.
elaborate why?
I'll come back to that. I'm going back to Goa. So we said, why don't you make a federation? Within 1 month, they made a federation. All the NGOs got together. The chief minister attended the first meeting. The police chief comes once a month to them. They are now the bosses. And so many, you don't get a single complaint of animal cruelty in Goa. Because the federation takes care of it. They don't need Maneka Gandhi ever again. And I'm so proud of that. So the idea is, what should we do? So the question you asked me was, what is this siloification? See, animal welfare people are by nature very individualistic. They don't like discipline. And they don't like bosses. They just do what they do. That's very difficult because there has to be discipline and there has to be some kind of, they're all suspicious of each other, of the world. So what happens is they suffer alone. Not one person helps the other. And because they suffer alone, the police don't help. Politicians don't help. Now in England, in the 2024 elections, the Labour Party did a forensic on how they won. And they found that 43 seats were won by the animal welfare movement.
Wow.
That's right.
People who deeply cared, but they cared in their minds and they were not very loud about it.
No, they were loud.
Okay.
They were loud, but they were voted as well for it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that played a very important swing
Very
vote.
important. And here also, the ARP party did a forensic after they didn't do so well in the MCD.
Right.
And they found that it was the animal welfare people who had not voted because at that point they had said कि अगर हम जीतेंगे तो सारे जानवर को निकालेंगे. For instance, if you take ARP, they didn't do at all well as they were supposed to do in the Delhi municipalities. And when Mr. Kejriwal did the forensic, he found out it was because of these 7 statements saying कि अगर हम जीतते हैं, हम जानवरों को निकाल देंगे.
Yeah.
So the whole younger lot said, "Oh, ठीक है, हम पहले आपको निकालते हैं, फिर जानवर." We, in the Philippines, the 2 worst people on the planet, Duarte and Marcos, stood for election. Now, I'm talking about in the last 3 years. And they stood against perfectly sharif, अच्छे लोग, doctor, engineer. Now, Duarte's father had just killed 27,000 people. Marcos's father and mother were known as the biggest chores in the world, in the Philippines. They hired an American firm. Okay, what should we do?
For the public perception and PR.
For public perception. They said, wherever you have films made of yourself, appear with a dog or cat. And then when they did the write-up, they said they won us 70% of the vote. Why is it that every American president, except Trump, has always had to have a dog? Every British prime minister has to have a cat. These are, they dig deep into your psyche. There was a poll done by YouGov, which you can see on the net, where they asked the British people, what do you want from your government? The first one was jobs. The second one was healthcare. Yeah. And the third one was animal welfare.
Wow.
Now this became so weird, and this was done in 2024. So they said, so they redid it, and they said, why did you say animal welfare? And they said, because a government that is nice to animals is nice to people. So the Labour Party brought out a 7-page document called Labour for Animals. And they attribute their victory to this document.
If people are loud enough, they're heard.
That's right. And if they're loud enough, together.
Together.
Together. Even one person is okay. But together, my God,
Right.
we,
Is that your vision with
Yes.
with your initiative that I've been reading about?
That is my vision. For 50 years, I have tried and tried and tried to the animal welfare, to promote it. And I must say that we have done very well. PFA has become a major power. We have changed, I think, about more than 100 policies.
Right.
We have 400 cases in court. We have, as I said, so many shelters, 26, 30 shelters. Everything is there, but it's still not good enough. What is needed is for that little boy in Duria to come forward. And now we have, for instance, one SDM's wife helps us in her district. When I went to Sultanpur constituency in UP, there was nothing there. Nobody had even heard of animals. By the time I left, there were no illegal chicken shops. An SPCA had started, which long after I've lost and come back, they're still running the SPCA, and so many politicians are helping.
Wow.
It's such a wonderful thing to see. All it needs is one spark, and India is ready for that flame.
So we do have examples where we see animals and women being safe.
Oh, yes. Yes. Rescued. And people spend money on them. There was one horse, recently a woman rang up and she said, there's a horse which is lying in Meerut. And can you please have the horse, it's broken its leg. And it's very undernourished. And I said, can you send it to us? And she said, okay. So then I waited, and after about 5 hours, I rang up and said, "Wo ghoda nahi pahuncha." So she said, no, there was a much better place being run by some horse people. So I've sent it to Bangalore.
Wow.
Can you believe that? I mean, she's paid for it by truck to go all the way to Bangalore. That's what I mean. It's not Sankhyaism. This is India.
So there is affordability, there is intent.
Yeah. And she saw it.
Yeah.
We had one person who sent me an email. He was a worker. He was a laborer.
Right.
And he first rang me up and I said, "Beta, email se bhej do. It's easier for me." He sent me an email. The building that he was working on in Noida had 8 stories.
Right.
And they were making donkeys climb those 8 stories on these small, the staircase in the middle to take bricks right to the top. And we got an NGO in Noida immediately to pick up all the donkeys.
And it happened.
Yeah, it happened. But I'm saying this laborer tipped me off. That is India. And that is the India I want to see before I die.
Right.
See, no leaders, they come, they go. Some leaders remain. Their memory remains. Ashoka the Great. Why do we respect him over all the other million kings that we have in India? After all, there must be a million chote Raje.
What do you think there was something about him, his
because
character?
He's the only one who put across India, be kind to animals, be kind to animals. All over. He made it into a thing, a policy.
Right.
Which is why 1,000 years later, he's still our Ashok Chakra. Nobody remembers kahan ka Raja tha. You just remember what he stood for.
Yeah.
Why do we remember Mahatma Gandhi?
Right.
For his kindness. It's not just he got us independence, but he was a kind human being. You see his work. What do we remember of Pandit Nehru? Nothing. You remember that he was kind to children.
Yeah, that's the first thing that pops up.
That's right. Chacha Nehru was kind to children. He loved roses, right?
Right.
So we in India remember kindness.
And how they
Politicians
make us feel.
come and go.
Yeah.
But a kind human being is remembered for a long time.
Right.
So therefore, what do you remember Mother Teresa for?
Kindness,
compassion. Because this is the soul of India. That is what young people like you are beginning to realize. You feel better, you feel happier doing things. The person who buys something is happy, and the person who gives it away is happier. So that is the soul that I have been fighting for my whole life. When I stopped child labor in Bhadoi and Banaras through Ragmark, I rescued 16,000 children. I was not in government. But it made me so happy. No, and I'm happy till today about it. When I stopped, there's so many things that one feels happy about, and they have nothing to do with the acquisition or the money you make or the people. People who work for animals, for humans, whatever, they don't want to be respected. They want to be worthy of respect. There's a difference.
Wow, that's really insightful.
Yeah.
Can you say that again?
The people who work, who want to change the world, they don't want to be respected. They want to be worthy of respect.
Right.
So it's a different, I expect nothing from you, I expect from myself.
Right.
I want to be worthy of respect. And that is what we are fighting for. Yeah, that's why I work. But now we have crossed that. What I want now is that we have laid, the roots are all there. The people are all there. Now the only thing we need is to make politicians and policy makers in India realize that we are one. A Rotary Club today has more power than the animal welfare movement, even though a Rotary Club has 22 people in it who meet once a week because they are one.
Yeah.
They have a common aim. Yeah.
Right.
An animal welfare group has a common aim, but so separate and so annoyed with each other. In the world, the weak kill the weak. That is how people become strong. It is the mother-in-law who will be mean to the daughter-in-law. Because when she came into the house, her mother-in-law was mean to her.
I'm sure there are so many examples like this in
So
society
many.
where if you just take away the resources, they start fighting among each other.
That's right. Absolutely. So what we want is to show them that the animal welfare movement is not weak. Because it isn't. Anybody who can get out in the middle of COVID and feed animals and fight for them is certainly not weak. So what I thought of was, let us introduce people to people and let them forget about talking to Maneka Gandhi or talking to somebody else that they consider their leader. What they need to do is to talk to each other and help each other without knowing each other. So it's taken me a year to create an app.
Right.
This app is called the Rapid Response Team, RRT. It has been created by a wonderful young man called Kartik Dhanya in South India. And he has worked on it and refined it and refined it and refined it. Now we are sending it out, and I would request you also to help us publicize this. And what it does is, you simply put it on your phone. It works both for Android and for the other one.
So this app you're saying is available on the App Store and the Play Store.
It's available on the Play Store, App Store, wherever. And it's free.
Okay.
So all you have to do is to take it out, and and you have to put it on your phone. Now, in the app, you will see how many people there are in your district.
Okay.
In your area, it also gives you that. It tells you, if you're in trouble, it gives you a place when let's suppose, you are thrown out of your house.
Okay.
We had one case in Pune where a girl bought her own flat, came to take possession of her flat, and the gate people wouldn't let her in because she had 2 dogs.
Oh.
And so I called the police. She rang me up from there saying, I'm sitting outside the gate with a truck full of my furniture. And what should I do? And I called the police, and then we arrested the RWA chairman and secretary, saying it's her flat. This, under the constitution, it's her right to privacy, her right to pets. Who are you to stop it?
Right.
So I'm saying, instead of people coming to me, if that woman had an app,
Right.
and we had RRT working then, all she had to do was press the SOS and write the problem, a small amount, and then people who are nearby and have the time and the ability and the intention, they can come with her to the police, they can come with her to a lawyer, they can come with her and shout at the RWA, they can come and shout at the mob, which currently mobs feeders.
This is really interesting. So you're saying that there's an app that you've created and it works for the people, by the people. So for example, if I'm in trouble, I can reach out to people who are already in love with the cause, and if they're free, if they have the time, if they are around, they can come and help me. So rather than me alone going to the police station, there will be 20, 25, 30 people going with me.
That's right. And some of them will be lawyers. Some of them will be social workers, maybe politicians. Who knows? So you then don't need anybody. And next time they are in trouble, you must go and help them.
Right.
Now, this doesn't work. Why I'm so keen that thousands of people take it is just let's look at the math of it. 780 districts. If you have very few people in a district, then perhaps nobody will come. This is not an app in which you put SOS and an ambulance will come and God will arrive and the angels will come and sing. No. It is only as good as the response you get.
Right. Or
Now,
the response you give.
And the response you give. Now, in the beginning, if you press it and nobody comes, what I'm scared will happen is that you will never use it again.
Right.
You will take it off the phone. But the fault is yours. Keep it and make 500 more people.
Right.
Write to everybody and say, you also live in Greater Kailash.
Right.
I see you feeding. I see that you have 2 dogs as a pet. I see that you look after cats. I see that you have a rabbit. I see that you donate. So you be on this app.
So this is for animals.
It's only for animals and it's for people who look after animals. Or people.
Feeders being attacked.
Feeders, people who are being thrown out.
Right.
People who are being mobbed. It's not just feeders, anything, anything to do with an animal. What I really need as the tipping point is 10,000 people per district.
Right.
Out of 10,000 people, a minimum of 200 will come.
Right.
But if I have 200 people, then 2 people will arrive.
Right.
Or not.
That's fair.
Yeah. So we need to give that wider margin. Because somebody will say, I'm sleeping, because most of the horrible things happen at night.
Right.
Somebody say, I'm sleeping. Somebody say, I don't have a car. Somebody will say that, मैं अभी अभी काम से आया हूँ, मैं थका हूँ. Somebody will say, ये नहीं आए थे जब मैंने बुलाया था. We also have people like that.
Right. So to bring this together, this is not from an NGO, this is not from an organization, no brands, no labels, no funding. This is just a chance for people to come together, leave their caste, creed, age, sex, everything behind, whatever they subscribe to, and come together for animals.
That's right. And if we can do that, Manlo, this is a success, and we can get 500 people per time. Each time there is a problem. It'll happen only 5 times. After that, no policeman is going to say no to you.
Right.
The politician will come and do matha teki.
I think a lot of people are going to be scared if that happens.
And yeah, a lot of people. And no, they'll do matha teki at your door only. During one election, we had got, I think, about 1,000 people together to talk to the politician who was standing there. 3 times we set it up, 3 times the politician avoided it. And went instead to chatter-patter corner groups, of shopkeepers. Why? Because they believe they're stronger.
Yeah.
By the time the next election comes, I want the animal welfare movement. Everybody should come and matha teko here. Because you're so strong.
And there is no centralized team. There is no one person. There is no one face. It is the community.
It is the community.
It is completely decentralized.
Absolutely. Now, in this constituency, in this where we have only 115 houses, we've already got 15 people on the app.
Right.
So that's great. But 15, maybe 2 will turn up.
Right. At any given time, like let's say walking a dog, 3 a.m., 7 a.m., whatever happens. Right.
But what I'm really, so we have to aim for the 10,000 mark. If it can go above that. Now, Delhi, for instance, has got 11 districts. So 110,000 people. It's a small ask. When you tell me, when the chief minister was newly made from the BJP, the first sentence she said was, get rid of the animals, get rid of the cows, get rid of the dogs, get rid of this, get rid of that, right? And she said it 2-3 times. Now the same person has understood Delhi better. So now she's saying, I love dogs, I love cows. मैं उनकी माँ हूँ, वो मेरी माँ है, etc., etc.
Right.
What has changed? Only your strength. Only the strength of people who've been able to tell her that in every building, if there are 100 people who don't like animals, there will be at least 50 people who are neutral.
Right.
And there will be 25 people who love animals.
Right.
The neutral and the loved ones are the ones we want.
Exactly. And I don't think even a neutral person wouldn't want a dog to have their
Intestines
intestines come
falling
up
out of
on
the
the roads. Because I think we need to make this as real and graphic as possible and visual as
Absolutely.
possible for people, because when they sit in their ACs and their
No,
rooms,
do you want the cow from which you get your milk to be raped every day?
100% not.
Then, it just is horrible what they do.
I mean, dairy and farming animals, the suffering that they go through, that's
The
another
suffering that
conversation.
chickens go through is unbelievable. Here around Delhi, we have been to these poultry farms. These chickens are here, their whole neck is full of blood all the time. Why? Because they poke those bars, they poke their heads through and then they can't get them out. So, ragarte, they are full of blood. They are in spaces so small that they can't lift their wings. So and if a chicken can't lift its wings, it dies of pain. The one that I went to, believe it or not, had spider webs, thick spider webs around the cages. And I said, देखिए, मैं समझती हूँ कि आप बहुत ही बेशर्मी से रखते हो, लेकिन यहाँ जमादार से सफाई भी नहीं करवा सकते हैं. ये why have we got these, वो पुराने भूत बंगले घर में, you see those thick spider webs, those were there. And they said, नहीं, हम ये जानबूझ करके रहने देते हैं because the chickens are full of so many ticks and lice. And there's no space for them to scratch themselves. The spiders come and eat the ticks on them. Imagine. And that is the chicken that you are eating. All these chickens have got diabetes because they are grown up on what? What do they eat? Sawdust. They eat their own eggshells. They eat the dead bodies of chicks that have died. This is their food. And then you eat them.
If you'd like to go into the conversation of farming animals,
terrible,
how we raise them, because it's intentional, the explosion of their population is happening because we want it a certain way.
Yep.
So when we talk about fishes, chicken, cows, and everything else, and then on the other hand, we talk about all these lovely brands coming up with butter and milk and curd and flavored yogurts.
That is why we are so happy that the vegan movement has come. Now, I want to tell you this. I'm glad you brought this up.
Right.
What if, I have a list which I made when I was 30 of the 350 things that I would like to do before I die, of which perhaps I've achieved 40 or 50 because each one is so difficult, or maybe more. But what I really wanted in the last 5 years, and when I was a minister before that, I had asked the government to pay, we also paid for it, to research it, is what is known as clean meat.
Right.
Now, I can't turn the whole world vegetarian. To turn one person vegetarian takes...
I think you can't have that conversation even with your family member because they don't think it's a problem to begin with.
No, you can have the conversation. Whether you win or not is a different matter. You can have the conversation, get kicked off the table. I mean, I myself was eating meat because I grew up in a meat-eating Sardar family of the army.
Wow.
So it was never pesh karo to us as meat. It was food. Right. And then I got married and my husband said, "Hame samajh nahi aata hai. You save animals the whole day." I was 18.
Right.
And he said, "You save animals the whole day and then at night you eat them." Wonderful. So ya to ek chuno ya to dusre chuno. And that was the night I stopped eating. Because till then it just had not occurred to me.
So you were 18 and
I was 18.
You've turned vegan or vegetarian since then.
Since then. So vegan. Now the thing is that what do I want to see? There are what is known as world disruptions.
Right.
The first disruption perhaps was electricity.
Right.
Which changed the world.
Maybe
the second,
fire.
No, fire is a natural thing. We're talking about man-made disruptions.
Okay.
Electricity. Then came cars. Mm-hmm. Cars, vehicles, whatever you call them. Yeah. Then after that came computers. After a long spell.
Telephones,
world
computers.
changing. Yeah. Now AI, perhaps not. Or maybe it's just an addition of computers. But what I really want to see in a world disruption is clean meat. Clean meat is meat that is made. It is meat. It is made by multiplying the cells of an animal.
Okay.
So what you do is you take cells and you put them into a lab and you just multiply them.
Right.
Until they become meat. After all, what
are you
what is
telling me
meat?
that I don't have to kill an animal and
That's
the
right. So
nutrition
you
I
don't
get
need
is the
animals
same?
at all.
And the nutrition I get is the
No,
same?
the nutrition you get is much better because that animal has 10 diseases.
Right.
He's been eating filth. The cow has been eating plastic, right? And they've been getting hormones. They've been getting 50 other. So you're not getting clean meat there. That's why this is called clean meat. You don't get all the diseases that the animal has, but you get the meat. Now, this was in 2000 and again 13, I think. There was a world competition organized by PETA,
Right.
which said we will pay $1 million for anybody who can make meat without the animal and real meat. So many companies formed overnight and they started creating this. And it took a long time. The $1 million was won by a scientist working in Netherlands.
Right.
And he made a hamburger, which cost $250,000 because that's what it took him to research it. But now it is freely available, both milk and meat, which is made without animals. And the wonderful thing is that in all the companies that have done this, Indians are at the forefront.
Wow.
Whether in America, and now it is sold openly in Singapore, which gives you clean meat.
If I want to go out and buy these options right now, can I do that in India?
No, you can't, because we are still battling the FSSAI, which has, for some reason, has to still make standards. And we are at their throat from morning to night. We've taken them to court as well, saying, make the standards, allow the food to come in. If I go to America, I can bring it back. But why would I go to America to buy it? I want it made here.
Right.
What will happen? 3-4 things. One, you will not be growing animals for meat anymore. So your forests will come back totally, because at the moment your forests are all being finished by the buffaloes and goats and cows that are eating in them. All right? 2, all your wild animals will come back. These are the true beauties of nature. The tigers, the wildcats, the beautiful vultures, the kite, all of them. The snakes. I mean, I'm taking the names of all the ones that people hate, but that's because I love them. Number 3, you will not get sick anymore. Number 4, you will no longer have to have slaughterhouses.
Right.
That you kill someone and then you take the body somewhere else, then you clean it up. Then you will save water. 2, in order to get 1 kilo of meat, you have to use 60,000 liters of water.
Right.
From the time the buffalo is alive to the time you wash the meat. All that water gets saved for humans. So what is it that you're losing? Nothing. You will get the whole earth back as it used to be 500 years ago. Not 1,000 years ago, just 500 years ago. And plus you'll be eating your meat. You won't have people like me saying, become vegetarian, become vegetarian. Khushi khao. And there will be no suffering. No suffering of animals. The human being himself will change.
Right.
The point is that this will be the biggest disruption. And it is already here. The science is there. Now, I'll give you one example. In India, there are lots of people who like to drink milk. They drink oat milk. They drink cashew milk. They drink other milk. Almond milk. Yeah. Any milk. Now the FSSAI, under orders from the government, because Amul is Gujarati, has ordered that no non-animal milk can use the word milk.
What will they be called?
Anything else. You can call it Donkey Kong, but you can't call it milk. So we are in court with them. We are saying, okay, you call it MYLK. Yeah. But no, you can't use the word milk. They said, what about coconut milk? No, you can use coconut milk because coconut milk is water. So what will they do with clean meat? Because they're working for slaughterhouses, they're working for Amul. So what will they do?
All of this has been allowed for so long that now people profit from it and they're too comfortable with it.
Absolutely. And now you have vested interests.
Right. Stakeholders, vested interests,
that's right.
Lobbies.
But this will change. Let us get our army together.
Right.
This one RRT will change everything.
Right.
If we can disrupt and divert the politicians into understanding what our young people are like. That would be magical.
So on my screen, let's say I download the app, and I did, right? There was a big red button in the middle. So when I press that, what happens? How does it work?
That's the SOS.
Right.
Yeah. So the SOS will then send a signal out to only those people in your district.
Do I send a voice note? Do I write a message?
You can write a message. You can write a message saying this is the problem.
Right. And if, let's say, I am in a meeting, or let's say I am not the one being attacked, I'm in my house, and how will I
You get the
receive
message.
that update?
It'll come, it'll ping you.
So I'll get a notification that tells me that somebody needs my help.
Yeah.
Right.
And then hopefully you will respond. No, you can't send back an excuse because there's no space for excuses. So either you go or you don't go.
Can I connect with the person who's calling for help? Ask them, where are you? Chat with them,
Yes.
maybe?
Yes. you
That's
can.
also an option.
Yes.
Interesting.
You can.
Right. So now, in conclusion to all of this, what I want to ask you, our goal is 10,000 people every
district.
per district in India, right? And that's a lot of people. The problem comes in when people want help, but they don't want to give out help. What's your message to people in that situation?
Beta, this is your last chance. Otherwise, you're stuck with Maneka Gandhi. And Maneka Gandhi is not going to be around for a long time. And then you're stuck with nobody.
So this is not a sales campaign. This
It's not a
is
sales campaign.
help yourself campaign.
It's
Help each other campaign.
It is a well thought out campaign to help you stand on your own feet so that I become irrelevant and you don't need politicians anymore. You don't need anybody anymore. You just need each other.
So when Delhi misses main kaun hu, mera baap kaun hai, they're like, I'm from RRT.
That's right.
I think that will give a
That's
lot of
right.
power by the people for the people.
Hopefully, so that next time you go to the police station, you don't go alone.
Right.
Even if you go with 10 people, that's fine. After all, these mobs come out, and now that there's a new thing, a man feels that if he sends his wife out in front to beat a woman, there will be no consequences.
Right.
So they're sending their wives out to beat now. But the point is there are consequences even for those women. They'll go to jail much faster.
Interesting. I think this was a lovely conversation and I loved every bit of it. This was
Thank
extremely
you.
insightful. And I'm sure a lot of people learned a lot of things.
I hope so.